Hi, welcome to my video, and this is my Polar RS300x, and it's my third. The company's called Polar, and they make fitness watches. And let's have a quick look. So here it is, the Polar RS300x, and I just checked on eBay, and you can get these used for about the cheapest one looks like $23 and $15 shipping. So 30 or 40 bucks, I guess, used. 23 RS300X. This is my third Polar watch for fitness. Now we are in the GPS age, so now we're in the age of GPS watches. So GPS watches are a lot more popular now, and this is kind of old school. So it's the RS300X. There's things that I don't like about this watch. I'm 51 and my eyesight's getting worse, I believe. So the display is a little bit small for me. But I didn't used to have problems with it before, so it probably won't bother most people. So it's probably just my eyesight that's not the watch. So anyways, this is the RS300X. And as you can see, I'm going to show you around the sides. It's got these recessed buttons that are kind of flat. It's got a nice metal back. It's easy to take the back off. There's 4 screws right there. It's nice stainless steel back with a nice finish that's sort of it does not it doesn't get slimy. It's kind of a sort of a crystal like finish on the back. So yeah, Polar RS300X. And the band is nice. The band is made of rubber and it's like part of the case. I'm going to tell you a little secret about Polar watches, okay? And that they are extremely durable as well. They're really well made, and the case holds up pretty well. Like I've beaten the crap out of this case and it holds up really, really well. Here's another little secret about Polar watches. In different cities around the world, you can buy the cases for the watch. So you can literally buy an entire case for this watch, and I've replaced it. I can't remember if I've replaced it. I'm pretty sure I just replaced it once, not twice. But when I bought the watch, the case was a little bit beat up, and you can buy an entire case for the watch. So it's the case and the strap. It's a one-piece case and strap, including the crystal. So the only thing that's original about the watch is the guts of the watch, like the inside, like there's like a little unit of the watch, and that goes in the new case. And you can get the jeweler to do it, and they like doing that because they make a few extra bucks doing it. So yeah, you can order. I think it's $30. Is pretty reasonable. So if you want an entirely new watch, like pretty much of a brand new Polar watch, you can buy a used like this model, like the RS300X, and then you can just put it. You can go and you can find a place that sells the case, and you can buy a new case and strap, and you can do it yourself. You can just put the old unit in the case. It's just 4 screws in the back here. And it's easy to replace the battery as well. So yeah, so I pretty much had a brand new watch, RS300X watch, because I bought it used, and then I bought a brand new case, and it pretty much looked like a brand new watch. So like I said, we're in the age of GPS. Now GPS is not a perfect science. I think the GPS can, it doesn't work in all situations, and it doesn't work accurately in all situations. So GPS is not the optimal situation always, especially for running and stuff like that. It might not be the best optimal situation. And to get a really good GPS, like a high accuracy GPS, to get it in a watch, it's pretty hard to get a really decent GPS in a tiny watch, right? So it's a little bit of a gimmick, I think. And so I'm a little bit old school. And so this watch I'm going to review this watch for running, primarily for running. You can use this watch for like athletics in general, but I use it for running. And I'm not I run 5 or 6K a week, and I'm trying to get that up to 10K a week. So, but anyways, I've been running for the last 5 years, depending on how busy I am, at work and stuff, and with my other schedules and stuff. So, yeah, this is a great watch. The Polar is a fantastic watch. I'm a repeat customer because I like Polar watches, so I'm a repeat customer, and I will be continuing. I'm not interested in Garmin watches. Garmin makes really good GPS units by themselves. They're probably the biggest GPS makers. So, I mean, I would be looking at their GPS. If I wanted to buy a GPS, which I may end up buying in the future for hiking and stuff, I would be buying a Garmin GPS for sure, because they're the name brand. They're the top brand in GPS. But for fitness watches, I love my Polar. I will stick to Polar. And my next watch will be a Polar, 100%. So anyways, this is an RS300X. Now, when I bought this watch, I thought, oh, it's kind of weird looking. It looks really long. So I thought it wouldn't be a good looking watch. But I'm going to put it on, and you can see that it's a pretty good looking watch. It's a good looking watch. I wear this watch wherever I go anyways. So I just wear it as a watch as well. And it's a good looking watch. And like I said, it's a very durable watch. I mean, they do make durable watches. Like, don't be worried about that. If that it's not going to be a durable watch. If you slam it into a wall or something, it's going to take it. Like, it's a strong watch. So let's get that right out of the way. Not that you're going to be doing that, but just note that it can take a bit of beating, and it's going to be absolutely fine. Like, the crystal is nice and strong. It's a strong crystal. It doesn't scratch up very easily. They did a really good job, an excellent job making these watches. They're an amazing bang for the buck, these Polar watches. I have to say, they're worth every penny. And if you find them used, it's even a better deal. So what I'm going to talk about is that when I ran, to measure your distance when you run, there's several ways you can do it. You can look at a map, and you can, if you're running in the streets, you know what I mean, like a street runner, like just running around your city or your town, what you can do is you can go on a map, and you can map out the distance. So you can use a marker, like a crossroads of two different streets in your town, and you can go on your map, and you can say, okay, well, that's 2.5 kilometers away from where I am, and so I'm going to run that distance and run it back, and that's roughly 5K. So that's one way of marking your distance and knowing how far you're running. Or you could go on a track and stuff like that, which is another way of doing it. And then there's another way is there was an app on your phone. So if you have a data plan on your phone, then there's apps on your phone for running that I've used before too, and they're pretty cool. There's some really cool apps on your phone for running, for GPS, or they use GPS and data, and so if you have a data plan on your phone, those are really cool apps to check out, because they show turn by turn your distance. They give you a little map. They're really excellent apps. So In fact, I think that that's if you carry your phone anyways, because I do, because when I'm running, I listen to music or podcasts. So if you carry your phone when you're running anyways, the only thing is that getting your phone out and, pressing buttons on your phone while you're running, it kind of interrupts the whole running process. So, but they do have audio too that goes into your phone that sort of beeps out like kilometers. It says, "Oh, you've just clicked, 0.5K or whatever, zero point 0.5 miles." So they do have those audible messages as well on some of those apps, which I noticed. But if you don't want to go to the phone app route, and the other thing too is that the GPS watches, like I said, they're a little bit more expensive. From what I hear, they're not that accurate, and they're a bit, problematic. So here's another solution, and that is the footpod. Here's the footpod, and this one's a polar footpod. And this goes on your running shoe. It just clips into your laces. So here it is. This part clips onto your laces. You just slip this under your laces, and then you put it on. And then there's a safety strap right here, rubber safety strap as well. So there's the rubber safety strap right here. And then this whole thing clips off. And this goes on your shoe. And it takes two AAA batteries. So when you want to go for a run with your polar watch, you put this on your shoe. And when you get your polar watch, you've got to set it up. You've got to enter in your date of birth and a bunch of information and stuff like that. And then you've got to set your resting heart rate as well. And then you do a log of your fitness activity, and it also measures the distance. And it'll show on the screen. It'll show your distance, your heart rate, and the time at the top. And I don't use any. There's lap functions and things like that, which I don't use. So those are basically the features that I use with this watch. So for when I go for a run, I put the watch on. This is the heart rate monitor. And as you can see, I disconnect the battery when I'm not running. So all you have to do to disconnect the battery is take it off the strap like that. So that just helps it to, it's not connected, so there's nothing going to drain the battery. So it's just a precaution you can take to prolong your battery life. So just before I go to run, I clip it on like that. Just clips on together like that. Put it around my chest. This is a new style strap that doesn't need, the old style straps you were supposed to wet the material here to put across your heart. You run it under the tap or whatever. But this strap, you don't need to do that. You just put it on and go. So here's the heart rate monitor strap. So actually I heard good things about this too, because the new style of watch measures your heart rate through your wrist. And so I still love my heart rate monitor. And when it's under your t-shirt or whatever, when it's on your chest, you hold the watch up to the heart rate monitor and the light comes on, which is a really cool feature. So if you're running in the evening and it's dark and you want to see your watch, you want to see the light, when it's all running, when your heart rate's on, when the watch is running, it's not working now, but when you're doing your run and it's all started, it's timing and measuring everything. When you hold the watch, when you move your wrist towards your chest, the light will turn on automatically, and that's a really amazing feature. And it's been on my last polar watch did that as well, the F55. So this is the new style strap, and this is the footpod. So you put the footpod on your shoe when you go out, put your shoe on, put the footpod on, and then you press this down for a couple seconds until the light goes out and it's on. It'll see it's beeping like that. It's showing that it's on. So once they turn the footpod on, I'll turn it off. And then you unlock the buttons on your watch by the top. You unlock the buttons with this top button on the left, and then the buttons are unlocked. So you hit start, and then it detects the. It's not going to detect it now. It's not going to detect it now because I don't have the heart rate monitor on, but it detects your heart rate, and it detects your footpod. And then once it's all detected, you know, it'll show that it's linked up with the footpod. It'll show that it's linked up with the heart rate monitor. And basically it shows that it's linked up with the footpod, and it shows, and then you can start your run. You know, you do your stretches and then start running, and you hit start, and it'll start. When you hit start, it'll start timing you and measuring your distance and measuring your heart rate. And so it's a really good device for runners. These are still available, Polar RS300x. So this is kind of a review. I don't know when it came out. These watches have been out a while. Polar has new models almost every year. So I don't know when this watch came out, but it was a few years ago. It got really good reviews. It's got like 4 stars on Amazon. So it looks like it came out around 2013. So yeah, it's like a 6-year-old watch. 2013, but it's a great watch. So yeah, you can get this. So that's my recommendations if you don't want to go the GPS route, but you still want a running watch. And if you do run, by all means, get a running watch. I think it's you know, if you're gonna run, if you're gonna take up running, I don't care if you suck at running, or if you're just brand new to running. If you think you're gonna do it, like if you think you're gonna take it seriously, even as just a recreation, I would go ahead and buy one of these watches because it's just a nice feeling. I mean, when you put your shoes on and you put your watch on and you put your heart strap on and you put your footpod on, I mean, it's just I don't know. It's one of those little things that it feels good. You know what I mean? It feels like, you know, you feel like you're taking it seriously or something, I guess. I don't know. But and it's fun too because basically it's a no-brainer to check your progress, you know. Just to check your progress, you can just, you know, you can say, oh, I did 6K and it took me X amount. You're going to notice your progress every single time you run. And it can be in like literally decimal increments. You know, you can go 6K, 6.2K, 6.3K, you know, 7K. You can literally up it. You can change your pace. I love running because running is a real you can really see your body, like your body's ability. Running really you can really test your body's ability. For example, you can go running and you can up the pace, so you can run, you know, you can up the pace. And I would say that I'm like a tank. You know, honestly though, like it sounds really funny, but I'm a little bit like a tank when I'm a runner because I can run at a horribly slow pace, but I can literally chug up hills you know, no problem at all. Or don't even break a sweat almost, you know what I mean? So I can run and I can go up hills, and you know, I can go nonstop running, you know what I mean? Just like a tank at a really slow speed. But then if I speed up, then I burn myself out too fast. So this is the thing that you have to test yourself with, right? Is that when you go running, there's always this constant thing where you go at a slow pace, um, and then you know you have amazing amounts of energy, like even after you're done the halfway point of your mark of your run, and even as you're like coming back and finishing off your run, you have excess energy, and that's because you know you didn't push yourself to the limit. You sort of you performed underneath your, you know, top level. But that's a nice feeling because you have like excess energy at the end. And then you can do the opposite where you know, so you can actually change it up. Like if you've had like a stressful week, you can do a light run where you don't push yourself. And then if you're well rested and well, you know, you're well nourished and everything like that, you can just kill it. Like you can just push yourself to the limit. And so it's a no-brainer because you can see exactly like, you know, and you can, you know, beforehand, before you can prep for your run and say how much you're going to do each day and everything. So it's a very fun hobby. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed that video and have a great day, and check out my other videos. Thanks for watching.